Alright, so let's talk about CPI summary today. Okay, so I'm pretty sure that you probably read headlines saying that CPI actually dipped down with a negative 0.1% increase in December 2022. And today I'm going to be going through why this is considerably good, but the thing is that the market isn't exactly feeling it as of now, okay? So I'm going to just show you guys the CPI. First, I'm going to minimize myself over here. Okay, so you're going to see over here, alright, December 2022, declined 1%. Huge. This is amazing stuff. Okay, you can see that gasoline, by far the largest contributor to the monthly all items, decrease. Okay, which is huge because finally we are starting to see gas prices actually go down. Okay, more than offsetting increases in the shelter indexes. I'm going to be talking about more about the shelter indexes in a bit. Okay, so let's just go through a little bit more of this. The core inflation, which is your entire index without food and energy, rose at 0.3%, which is according to my expectation as well. Okay, because I did say if we do not count food, we do not count energy, chances are we're still going to be seeing core inflation move up. Okay, but the thing is that how we have to actually take into consideration for all this entire thing is that in the past year itself, core inflation actually went up like 0.3, 0.5, 0.6%, when we actually see the month-over-month general inflation went up like 1%. Okay, that's because you're not taking into account for what the gas has been doing to the entire market as well. Okay, so now that we actually see gas move back down, okay, you cannot also take those benefits to put into core inflation as well. So core inflation generally will still be moving up. Okay, over here you're going to see more about this. Indexes that will increase in December includes shelter, household furnishing and operations, motor vehicle insurance, recreation, apparel indexes. Okay, so if you actually remember what Jerome Powell actually talked about, I think about last month or so, he said that the inflation that he's most worried about is to do with shelter and household furnishing, which is household services, such as all your window covering, your furnishing, furnitures in general, all this. There's things to do with your houses, okay, alongside with rental prices as well. However, leading indicator shows that housing prices is about to go down. Okay, we're expecting it to go down about 2 to even 5% in the next 6 to 12 months. Okay, so we are expecting rental prices to be going down. Okay, which is fine, which is all right. Okay, I'm a big fan of that. I'm cool with that, because when we look over here, indexes which increased in December includes shelter, household fund. These are things that are up, but we are expecting them to go down. These are the so-called non-sticky inflation, so we are fine with that. We're all right with that. Okay. All item increased 6.5% for the 12 months. Okay, now talking about this 6.5% over here. Okay, this 6.5% over here. Before we actually got this entire CPI reading, okay, it was actually being the expectation was actually rotated downwards a little bit. The expectation beforehand was, I think, 0.1% or even 0% for some of the consensus. About a day after I released my expectation, okay, they actually came up with a revision saying that expectation is going to be going down to 0% or negative 0.1% for some of the consensus. Okay, which is why the main spread across the entire Wall Street, people think that it's supposed to be negative 0.1%, which is why you saw that the whole entire market didn't really reacted that well. Provided the fact that we already expected a deflationary number, and then we actually hit the deflationary number, the entire market was not happy. Okay, the market was expecting that we hit it. We expected to beat the entire expectation. The market wanted to see a negative 0.2%. That's how you can see the entire market rally. Okay, but ultimately, when I did see the initial 1 to 2 minute candle where I saw everything just bled downwards, I was so confused. Okay, so I started to read the entire report and I saw that, oh, it was just shelter and household furnishing. I immediately head over to today's sponsor, which is Webull.com. Okay, use my link down in the description box down below. Deposit $2,000. You just do one buy trade and one option buy trade, and just wait 30 days and you get a free $150. Okay, so just use my link down below for Webull. Okay, now back to it. So I went to my Webull account and immediately started buying stocks. Okay, because I knew for a fact that they're not supposed to be going down. Okay, I bought Tesla, I went over to Moomoo, I bought some Google, I bought some Apple. Okay, these are all relatively high cap stock, and I'm very, very happy for all those purchases that I actually did. So I managed to get in a lot of my buy orders over there. Surprise, surprise, everything actually went back up. Okay, so I actually made a pretty good profit. I sold off some of the Google and Apple that I actually did because of the initial downturn. I only wanted to make it as a trade, so I made about like $200-$300. Not a lot, but just make do with what I can, I guess. Okay, so those were pretty good trades that I was very happy about. Now, over here you can see energy index increased at 7.3% for the entire 12 months. So this is the year over year, which is why energy index is still surprisingly strong. We are expecting energy prices to actually go down significantly in the next year, hopefully so. Okay, now I just want to show you guys this, which is one of my favorite chart. I just gotta say it. Never in my life have I thought that I'll be happy to see negative this dash over here. I never thought that I'll be happy to see this dash over here. Okay, a negative 0.1%. Okay, if you see this entire graph over here, everything has always been in positive. Over in July over here, we expected it to at least show us a dip in inflation. We wanted to at least see a negative 0.1. We didn't, so we saw a 0%. Afterwards, we saw a 0.1, 0.4, relatively low inflation. Okay, so right now we're starting to see the huge inflection point downwards on inflation. Pretty bullish. Okay, now to look at all the numbers and such, the nitty gritty, I guess. Okay, over here you see food indexes increased by 0.3%. Again, expected. Okay, an example that I like to use, for example, if you're a Singaporean, I'm not sure if you're a United States citizen, I'm sorry. Okay, but like in Singapore, let's just say you're in a hawker center. Okay, and you go and buy your favorite cai tao kueh, which is your carrot cake. In 2020, you probably bought it for $3. Okay, and then in 2022, surprise, prices of flour went up, prices of carrot went up, prices of soy sauce went up, prices of eggs went up. All these are so-called rising costs of inflation. All those get added up, and the person who sold you that plate of carrot cake is now suddenly telling you it's gonna cost you $5 in 2022. Okay, so now think about it. The price went from $3 all the way to $5 in just 2 years. This is called a high inflation rate. Okay, but the funny thing is, inflation is so frigging sticky. Okay, inflation is not gonna suddenly just inflect downwards for food. It's not as easy as that, because now that you have already been paying $5 a plate for this plate of carrot cake, in 2024 or in 2025, do you expect that the plate of carrot cake is suddenly gonna go back down to $3? Chances are no, it's not gonna happen. Okay, because inflation is sticky. Inflation has stuck to it. Okay, of course, if you're talking about how if inflation started to just go over the top from $3 up to like $12, and then you start to see it go back down, maybe you start to see a stabilizing factor at about $6-7. That's fair enough. Okay, but when you're talking about $3 to $5, chances are it's gonna stay sticky. Okay, use the same entire logic for your bakeries, for your coffees, things like that. Okay, prices for food usually tend to stay stickier. Okay, which is one of the saddest part of inflation, because food is something that we all need. Now, food from home index grew 0.4% as well. Sad to say, food prices again going up. Okay, now look at energy. Energy index fell 4.5% in December. Pretty good. Okay, over 12 months, yeah, we know that it went up by 7.3%, but for month over month, it went down by 4.5%. Love it. I love it. Okay, last month we got 1.6%. Like this month we got 4.5%. Okay, but I'm not gonna take away the possibility that, you know, whatever Russia and Ukraine is going through might not just keep energy prices low forever as well. There is a possibility that energy prices might spike up again. Right now we are getting towards the end of the winter soon, which means the energy prices would fall even more, because this is during the time where energy is needed the most during a lot of winter countries out there. During the winter season, a lot of countries need all this energy to keep warm. Okay, so after this winter season is over, chances are, if energy prices are falling down right now, when winter is over, energy prices is really gonna plummet. And that's what we're looking for, which is why inflation is probably gonna go down. I guess it's transitory after all. Okay, all items. Okay, over here you really want to see this. Okay, whoops, that's not it. Okay, continue to increase, rising 0.8% month over month for shelter. Okay, shelter is still going up very, very strongly. Owner's equivalent rent also rose by 0.8%. Lodging away from home increased 1.5%. Okay, so you can see that the shelter prices are actually going up significantly. Okay, the shelter index was the dominant factor in the monthly increase in the index for all items less food and energy. Okay, this is going to be the most important part here. Okay, I'm just gonna, okay, this is the most important part. Okay, just look up here right now. Okay, this is the most important part. Okay, dominant factor in the monthly increase in the index for all items less food and energy. Why this is so important? Because for the core inflation that we're talking about, it went up by 0.3%. And if this whole entire thing, the monthly factor, is the monthly, the dominant factor in the monthly increase in the index for all items less food and energy, while other components were a mix of increases and declines. If shelter prices are expected to be going down, this currently the thing that's supposed to be going down, okay, is also the dominant factor for this month's core inflation. This is crazy. Okay, it is crazy. It means that this dominant factor is not going to be sticky. This dominant factor that we're so worried about is probably going to be going down. And that means that for the next few CPI that we're going to see, chances are shelter is not going to be it's not going to sustain such a strong persisting inflation. Okay, we are probably going to see what, maybe a 0.3% next month, and maybe a 0.5% next month, and then the month after we might see a 0.2, 0.1 effectively, and then we start to maybe even see a negative 1.6%, things like that. We want to see a deflationary inflection downwards. Okay, chances are that's what we're gonna get. Okay, chances are that's what we're gonna get, which is why I do sincerely believe that this is the reason why the market started to rally again, because they thought, oh, okay, you know what, like, since this is the dominant factor in the monthly increase for indexes, I think we're good. Okay, over here you can see, whoops, again. Okay. Over here you can see which increased 0.3% for household furnishing and operations. Motor vehicle insurance went up by 0.6%. Index for recreation increased 0.2%. Apparel and yada yada is pretty normal. Okay, so over here you can see index for all items less food and energy over the 12 months. The shelter index increased 7.5% over the last year. Oh my god, this is crazy. Okay, read this, okay? Read this right now, okay? Shelter index increased 7.5% over the last year, accounting for more than half of the total increase in all items less food and energy. More than half, okay? Imagine this, the thing that we're most worried about, that we are expected to see it decrease in the next 6 to 12 months, is accounting for more than half of the total increase in the core inflation. Okay, I don't know, man. Like, if you ask me to read this whole entire thing, I think that is pretty bullish. I'm a big fan of it. Okay, now this whole entire thing is the boring part. Okay, now let's get to the numbers. Okay, you're gonna be quite surprised. Okay, chances are, okay, we're gonna be looking at the last panel on the right side of this. Okay, you can see all items went down 0.1%, which is what we already know. Okay, 0.3. Okay, you're possibly not going to see something that's so huge in this, because these are just the subcategories. You want to get into the individual commodities where you actually see huge numbers up and downs. Okay, over here you're probably not going to see much. Okay, meat prices are going up by 1%. Okay, bruh, oh my god. Energy went down by 4.5. Energy commodities went down by 9.4. Fuel oil went down by 16.6%. Motor fuel down by 9.2%. Gasoline down by 9.4%. All of them are down. All of them are down. It's crazy, okay? Okay, over here you can see that there was a spike up 3% for gas services. Chances are, like I said, during the winter time, we expected it to go slightly up a little bit. But for all the entire energy index as a whole, they brought them all down. So we're good with that. We're good with that. Okay? Then you can kind of see the rest of this. All of them are basically going down. Used cars and trucks down 2.5%. Remember just last year, okay? Exactly last year, I think 2022 of January, we're talking about how used cars and trucks were getting like destroyed because everything was going up like crazy. Chips manufacturing was a huge thing, which is why new cars and new trucks couldn't be manufactured without the chips. Used cars and trucks became the most important thing in the entire market. People were just buying it. It was crazy. Now we're starting to see a huge inflection downward. So pretty good. Okay, other than that, you don't really see much. Over here, hospital services up by 1.7%. I guess. Airline fares down by 3.1% as well. I mean, like, everything is starting to inflect downwards. Big fan of it. Okay, same thing. I think you can probably just go through the whole entire numbers yourself. But something that I do want to bring to your attention is over here, which is eggs. Okay, eggs went up by 11% this month. Okay, and I think it's just absolutely crazy because over here, if you see the unadjusted percentage change from December 2021 to December 2022. Okay, this is year to year. Okay, eggs went up almost 60%. Imagine if you spend, say, $20 on eggs every single month. Chances are you're gonna be spending about almost $35 on eggs coming forward into the next year and such. So pretty scary how eggs prices have been skyrocketing as well. But yeah, other than that, all the numbers are actually quite nice. I think there's nothing much for me to actually talk about the inflation CPI entire summary from there on up. But yeah, insanely bullish. Okay, I think this is really, we are finally there. We are finally starting to see the decrease in inflation, and I'm living for it. I am absolutely happy for it. Okay, that's all I have for this video. Remember, do use my link down below for Webull. Okay, it's an amazing application. Over here you can see that I'm also using Webull. I've been using Webull before they even came to Singapore. Okay, that's how much I actually like Webull. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.